It was a well-kept secret. While in Washington last week, Pope Francis met with the Kentucky clerk who was jailed for upholding marriage. Kim Davis, an apostolic Christian, refused to license same-sex marriages despite the Supreme Court ruling legalizing them nationwide. She spent 5 days in jail until her deputies agreed to issue the licenses without her approval. Davis's parents are lifelong Catholics who now have the rosaries the Holy Father gave her during their meeting. Matt Staver with Liberty Counsel representing Kim Davis. Matt, who set up this meeting between Kim Davis and Pope Francis?
Well, I won't go into detail as to who or all the different mechanisms that brought this meeting about, but I will say that it was a private meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican Embassy in Washington, D.C. And certainly when the Pope meets with anyone in a private setting as this, it was not a group meeting. He and his staff know who they are meeting and have approved of that particular meeting. This meeting occurred Thursday afternoon in Washington, D.C., and it was a private meeting between Pope Francis and Kim and Joe Davis.
Were you with the Davises before or after their meeting?
Yes, I was with Kim and Joe Davis immediately before and immediately after the meeting with Pope Francis.
Did she share at all what the Pope said to her?
She did, and she said that when Pope Francis came in, he held out his hand. He asked her to pray for him, which she then clasped his hand. She said she would. She asked Pope Francis to pray for her, and he said he would. He encouraged her, and he told her specifically in his words, stay strong. And all of the meeting was in English. They embraced while they were there. He then gave Kim and Joe Davis 2 rosaries, a black one and a white one, and presented those to them at the meeting in the Vatican Embassy.
Matt, how and why was this meeting kept secret for nearly a week?
We wanted to certainly respect Pope Francis's visit to the United States. He obviously had planned this meeting and the broad brush messages that he gave at the meetings that he attended and the masses that he performed. We did not want this to be a focus of Kim Davis, nor did Kim Davis want this to be a focus of her, and we didn't want it to distract. So once the Pope's visit was complete, once he had been back to Rome, we felt it was appropriate at that point in time in consultation to release the information about the visit.
With the Pope clearly in her corner, what does this do for Kim's case?
Well, you know, the Pope has mentioned both generally while he was here and certainly by this meeting that he is a very strong advocate of religious freedom. He said it's a human right. He said that on the plane with the papal staff that were being, or the press that were with the papal plane. He said that it was a human right. It's a human right even of governmental officials, even in the issuance of these licenses, and that it's a right of everyone. So I think that is a strong message that is sent not only by his general messages while he was here, but by his specific private meeting with Kim Davis.
What an interesting development. Matt Staver with Liberty Counsel, the representative of Kim Davis. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Thank you. My pleasure.
To find out what the Vatican is saying or not about this meeting, we go to our Alan Holdren in Rome. Alan, is there any official confirmation that this meeting actually took place?
Well, Brian, the Vatican spokesman, Father Lombardi, said today that he can't deny that the meeting may have taken place, but he's not going to add any more details. He's not going to give any more information. It could be possibly that he doesn't have any more information at this point. The Pope was participating in the general audience this morning. He may not have been reachable for more comment, or he may not have wanted to give more comment. But in the past, when Father Lombardi says something like this, it is, in fact, that the event has taken place. There's just no more to add.
Pope Francis did discuss this issue on the plane. Did he get into this specific case at all?
He didn't get into specifics, Brian. He was asked if he supported people in situations like that of Kim Davis. He said that he supports people in their human right of being able to act in good conscience. He said that everybody has this right, including government officials.
Alan Holdren, who was on the papal plane going from Philadelphia to Rome and heard that himself. Alan, thanks for joining us from Rome.
Thank you, Brian.